Hi, I am so excited to share with you this new technique. I was inspired by Kelly Atchison and have long admired alcohol blends and the different things that you can do with them. But this is an alcohol technique that just is going to blow your mind. It is so exciting and so cool. And so I like to give you this formula. It's blends plus vellum plus alcohol equals spectacular. So here is a sneak peek of what we're going to be making. And you can see it's got a beautiful alcohol background. And you're gonna see this a lot of places. It's becoming very, very popular. And so we're gonna make it tonight. It's really, really easy. So you're gonna love this. In case you don't know, my name is Karen Sliwinski. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I live in Northeast Ohio. And a lot of things have been going on in my life recently. I've sold my house. I've bought a new place that's being built. I'm going to be moving to an apartment downtown Cleveland. So we're going to have summer in the city. It's going to be lots of fun, but a lot of craziness and a lot of things going on in the next few weeks. So I'm hoping to get a little bit ahead on filming my videos so that I don't fall behind and you can keep watching them every 2 weeks. So I'm going to get the camera turned around and we're going to get started making this really fun card. All right, this is the card that I'm going to be showing you how to make. I'm just going to set this aside. I'm going to show you some of the pieces that we need. We need a card base, and I have chosen basic black. I'm just going to go ahead and get this folded. And I'm going to give that a really good crease. Move this out of the way. Okay, so we're going to set that aside. You're going to need a scrap of white and a scrap of black. I've already used the die, and I'm using the Nothing's Better Than bundle. So I used the die to cut out the word cocktails. I just wanted to save a little bit of time. And I've also stamped the cocktails glass and cut that out with the die as well. Okay, we're going to be using some of the words from this in a little bit. Then you're going to need a piece of vellum. This measures 3 1/4 by 4 1/2. And really, you could use any size. It's just up to you. And then you're going to need a piece of basic white that's just a little bit larger. So we are going to layer those together. And then this is a piece for the inside. So this is just a 3 3/4 by 5 for the inside. I'm going to set that aside. So we're going to start right out with our very, very fun technique. So this is what you need to start with is your vellum. And then you're going to need some blends. So we are going to do this Magenta Madness. And I've got both the light and the dark of the blends. Okay, we're going to be using the brush tip side, which is this broader tip. And what we want to do is just add some splashes of color. It doesn't have to be any particular pattern. I wanted mine to kind of go from one corner to the next on a diagonal. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just adding this color. And sometimes you can do like the whole panel, but in this one I really just wanted to kind of get this flowing across. Now you're going to need some alcohol. So I have some 91% alcohol, and I'm going to pour just a little bit into the cap. Now, when Kelly did this, she used her water painter, but I really liked using just the paintbrush, and it could stain it, and I didn't want to do that to my water painter, so I just used a paintbrush, and I found that I could get a little bit more control with dipping this in. The little cap of alcohol, and then you're just going to need a paper towel. So what you're going to do is you're going to dab some of this alcohol onto your vellum. And you see it's going to start bleeding and blending. And the more you add, the more blending you're going to get. So you could control this. You can put a lot of alcohol on here, or you can just use a little bit. And you just start seeing how those light and those darks blend together, and you're going to get all these really cool patterns as they merge. And then it's going to dry and kind of give you these, I don't know, sort of like ring-like patterns on this. Now on the one that I did in my first sample, I put a lot more alcohol. And this one I'm putting just a little bit less. I wanted it to be a little bit more controlled. And this is really going to be up to you and what you like. And then you can go back and you can dab more. And you can even use a straw if you wanted to kind of blow this around a little bit. I did that on a few of mine. But this one I think I'm just going to kind of give it a little bit of breath. And then it's going to dry. And the color is going to change as it dries. As you can see it's starting to get drier here. And you really do want to use the higher alcohol. It doesn't curl your vellum as much as the lower alcohol content. And so I'm just going to blow on this and just let it dry, dry, dry. And then if you find, once it gets dry, that you've got some areas that were too washed out, you could always go back. Like if you wanted more color in this section right here, you could go ahead and add some more of your blends. Just blowing on that so it gets dry. All right, lift this up. Oh, it's not wanting to come up here. So you can see it's just a very, very organic look. I just love how this came out. And then as you see, your paintbrush does get stained, but then I'm just going to go back in and add some more alcohol to my cap and then rinse that out, and most of that's going to come out. So now we are going to take this piece of vellum that we've colored and inked up, and we are going to mount it right here. So what I'm going to do is just take my multi-purpose glue, and I am just going to put just a very fine amount. And then actually I think I'm going to put a little bit more over this, and then I'm just going to take my finger and I'm just kind of spreading it out a little bit so that you're not really going to see this ink. And then I'm going to stick it on my piece of white. And the glue is going to give you a little bit of time to move it around. And then I'm going to press that down. And that's going to make it look so vibrant when you mount it on that white. All right, doesn't that look fabulous? Okay, I'm going to set that aside. And now we are going to take our pieces. So I've got my cocktail glass, and I am going to stamp that in some Granny Apple. They have this cute little stamp, which is your cocktail. So this, I think, would be a margarita. Let's see if I can line that up through the camera. Oh, that looks pretty good. Clean that off. And we're done with the Granny Apple Green. And then I'm going to use some blends. They do have stamps where you could go ahead and stamp your little lemon or lime, whichever one you want it to be. But I'm just going to use my blends. They're really quick and easy. So that is Mango Melody. And then I'm going to make the rind just a little bit darker. So I'm using the darker shade of that one. And then I think I am going to color, oops, wrong end. I want to color my umbrella. And I think I just want to color it all with the light one. All right, that looks really good. So then we want to take some dimensionals, and I'm going to put a little dimensional, a mini dimensional at these two pieces, and then a regular size dimensional in the base of the drink here. Peel those off, and we're just going to go ahead and put this down. Now we have cocktails, which I have cut out, and we are going to just add a tiny bit of glue. You could use the trick where you put some of this glue on your silicone mat and then use a sponge and just kind of put it over it. But I find this is still pretty easy to do. Just dab a tiny bit of glue. We just want to hold that down. Okay. Make sure I get a little bit on this word. So I'm just going to position this right over here. And then we need to dot our I. To do that, I'm just going to put a little bit of glue. Oh, that was probably too much glue. And we're going to see. And we're going to pick up our dot. And I think that's going to be a little bit too much glue. Let me see if I can take a little bit of it off. I think that looks better. And then we're going to place our dot of our I. Okay, a little bit of that glue stuck out, but I think it's going to be okay because I think it's going to dry clear. All right, so doesn't that look so interesting? I just love this look. And then we are going to adhere this down to our card. And again, we're just going to add some glue. Oh, dropped that on my card. I'm just going to center that. There. All right, now we're going to take our scrap of white paper. Oh, let's see where mine disappeared to. Oh, I think I lost my scrap of white paper. Let me just grab another one. And we are going to take the words, today is a kind of day. So we're going to have our Memento black ink. And I just mounted both of those together so it'd be easier stamping. And then I want to trim those down really tight. So I'm going to take my scissors and I'm just going to just kind of give it a little bit of an eyeball. You don't have to make it on your trimmer, but we're just gonna make it very tight to the words. Okay, here we go. Now we need to trim this side just a little bit. And then trim this. Now, because these are so thin, I feared that the mini dimensional really wouldn't fit too well. So I'm going to be using our foam adhesive strips. And these are wonderful. And you can rip these off, but I like to just use my scissors and I'm just going to cut a piece off. So it's just about the length of your sentiment. I'm going to stick that on, and then I'm going to cut another one for the other piece. And this is going to support your sentiment all the way across. Okay, move those out of the way, and we can add that. So we're going to start out with the today is. I'm just going to stick this one right about here. When it looks level, go ahead and stick it down. And then peel off this one. And I think I'll stick this one. Oh, that's there. I think this one might be just a tad crooked. There. That is so cute. And then I'm just going to show you what I stamped on the inside of the card. And then this one I use the magenta, the Magenta Madness, and I stamped it off before coloring the cocktails on this one. Colored the lemon the same way, and then I just used the light greeny apple green. So I thought that was just so fun. And like I said, it was so easy to do. Now this one I used only the one color of blend. So I just used the light and the dark. And look at the difference in this one. This one I had a lot more alcohol and it really just kind of bled to the edges. This one I wanted to keep it a little bit more contained. So every one is going to be different. Just play around with them and see what you like. And I have some other examples to show you because I just love the look of these. This one I used cinnamon cider and I used mossy meadow. And I thought this was a gorgeous card, very masculine looking. And then what I did for this piece is I made it a little bit wider so that I could cut off a piece of it and put it on the inside. And it just ties it all together. Fabulous, fabulous. I just love this. So excited. And then I have another one where I made just a strip, so a panel. And this one I used Bermuda Bay. So I just used one color on this one, and then mounted it down the side. And so that's what this one is for. And then the last card, I took a lot of different colors and I mounted them on paper, and then I cut them out with the stitched blooms dies. So I just made this beautiful card with all kinds of colors and then cut them apart, and then there was my inside. So I hope you really like this technique. Give it a try. It is lots of fun, like I said. And you can just let your imagination go. It's really hardly any investment. All you need is some vellum and blends, which you probably have both of those already. Get your alcohol and then just have fun and start playing around with it. So if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up and share it with your friends who might be interested. And if you subscribe to my channel, you'll get notified when my next video comes out. They usually come out on a Wednesday, so I'm hoping I can keep to that schedule as I move. And if you need any of the supplies, I would love it if you shopped in my store. I will have the details of this on my blog, and it'll be linked in the bottom of this video. Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it.